Why the radicals in salts are named as basic and acidic radicals? There are 2 kinds of radicals in a salt. Number one, acid radical, which is always negatively charged. Number two, basic radical, which is always positively charged. For example, in the well-known salt like sodium chloride, sodium is basic radical, chloride is an acidic radical. Why sodium plus is a basic radical? Because in sodium chloride salt, it comes from a base called sodium hydroxide. Why chloride is an acidic radical? Because in sodium chloride salt, it comes from an acid called HCl. You can see in acid and base reaction to give a salt. When sodium hydroxide react with HCl, we get sodium chloride salt and water. Now, one more example, salt of calcium sulfate. The salt of calcium sulfate contains two radicals. You can see here, calcium cation, which is basic radical, and the sulfate anion, which is an acidic radical. Calcium cation comes from calcium hydroxide, which is a base. So calcium cation is a basic radical. Sulfate comes from sulfuric acid, which is an acid. So sulfate anion is an acidic radical. You can see the acid-base reaction between calcium hydroxide, a base, and sulfuric acid, an acid, to give a salt, calcium sulfate. See another example here. The salt of potassium nitrate composed of a basic radical, which is potassium plus, coming from KOH, a base, and acidic radical, which is nitrate, coming from HNO3, which is an acid. The acid-base reaction to form the salt is nitric acid plus potassium hydroxide, giving potassium nitrate salt and water.